chart patterns that you can already see, and then these colors are the representation of this, right? So with me, I have welcome back to another YouTube video, FlareFX, where we make trading very simple. Now today's video is definitely different from what we used to. This was actually suggested by one of the FlareFX clients, right? They genuinely wanted me to go over the tools I use, my chart color patterns, the Fibonacci retracement, because I know a lot of you guys have been growing. The channel's actually growing, and a lot of you guys already like the way my chart looks, and you wanna really deeply know, like, what are the things I use, what are the templates I use, right? So this video I'll be basically going through everything. I'm talking about my risk to reward ratio colors, my chart colors. I'm sure some of you guys do know, but the guys who want mine to be like this or want theirs to be like this, right? You could just wait and just watch the whole video and see how I do it, right? So you can mimic the exact same ones I do have, right? So now we'll start off with the pure basic stuff, right? Where I usually go for anything else is the settings, right? You click the settings and then you go over to symbol, right? So now when you go over to symbol, it makes things so much easier because it kind of highlights your charts, right? So we'll be looking at over here, right? This is where we're going to be looking at. And then you can also save this as a template, right? So I'll just save this just to be safe. I'm going to save this as FlareFX so I can fiddle around with all my stuff. FlareFX 2 maybe. Right, I'll just save this template and then now I'll play around with it, right? But nonetheless, so check this out. This is all the chart patterns that you can already see, and then these colors are the representation of this, right? So with me, I have mine on yellow. This type of yellow, and the opacity is on 100%. So you could put it on red, you can put it on green. It depends on what you like, right? But for example, let's play around with different colors, right? Let's say maybe we want the blue, right? We like the blue, we keep that blue, right? Let's go back to settings, my bad. So we go back to blue, we take the same color. Let's say maybe we take the darkest one, the darkest shade, we apply that, and then another darkest shade, we apply that, right? So now as already you can see our charts are totally different, right? As you can see, the borders, it looks very different, the wicks look very different. But for me, maybe I keep this at white, even the borders at white, just to make sure everything's look clean. It depends on what you want as a trader, you get what I mean? But everything is solely dependent up to you. I just like the way my charts look, right? So we can get, let's say we get the blue colors based on previous close, we could allow that. And then afterwards, decimal places, that's 5 is okay, like that's, and then the time zone is Johannesburg because I'm in South Africa, right? So now these are the ones that I do have, right? Let's say now your charts look like this, like blue and white, right? This is actually pretty cool, right? So now this is how you change your colors, right? And then if you want to use the colors that I use, like I said, I use yellow. So I'll come in over here, highlight that yellow, and then I'll come in over here, highlight that yellow, and then come in over here and highlight this yellow, right? So this is usually the chart colors I use. And then the background is black, right? It's up to you as well. Like, check it out, just play around this zone over here. It kind of shows you canvas. Even you could even put a watermark, right? I just put mine so you can't really see it. Let me just show you the beautiful thing about this as well, right? Let's say the watermark, where's the watermark place? Yeah, you could highlight it so it can show you that, okay, cool, this is German 30 on the 4-hour time frame. You get what I mean? It's up to you what you like to do, but for me personally, my watermark is usually off, right? Boom, all the way to the back, right? So now that's my chart colors, right? The yellow and white that you see matches a lot of the logo. That's a beautiful thing, right? Now coming to my toolbar, all of the things that you see over here, basically everything is gotten from the far left, right? So everything that you see over here is me going all the way to the far right and highlighting, right? So look at this. Any single time you highlight a point over here, it already automatically puts it in your what you call this, in your toolbar, right? So these are all the tools that I use personally, right? So on this, the crosshairs, I use the cross and the arrow because it makes things so much easier for me. I like the cross because it makes things a bit more easier to highlight, especially when I'm breaking down pairs, you get what I mean? Now in terms of the lines, I use the trend line and I use the horizontal line. These are just for a lot of my purchases of liquidity, things like that. Those are the ones I use for, right? So now coming to my Fibonacci place, a lot of you guys actually wanted to see about this one. This is called the band box, right? I just want to show you the band box, boom, right? And the settings for it, right? So this is the band box settings. For me, I have the 0, the 1, and the 0.5 highlighted, right? So if you have a phone, make sure to go highlight these because it looks so much more cleaner, right? it's the 0, the 1, and then the 0.5, right? And then in terms of the colors, I like to keep the yellow and gray or the white scheme, right? I could come in over here and just make it a bit more white like this, the lining, but I think it's cool. Like, I really like the way this one looks. I don't have any writings, like you see these labels, like you could put labels like left label, I don't like that, or right label, I don't like that. And the background, you could choose like how dark or how light you want it to be. For me, just like to keep it a bit light and dark so you can see, right? And then in terms of like the background colors, it's the same. Coordinates is just that. Visibility is just that, right? So that is the gang box, right? And then coming over to the box is relatively the same. I use a gray box for me. I just come in over here, the style, I just like to make the background like that, right? Makes things a bit easier, right? And also, I genuinely love this tool. This tool is called the forecasting tool, right? You find it at relatively, let me just show the forecasting and measurement tools, right? This is the bars pattern. I love this thing a lot. I adapted this from what is it, Falcon FX, right? I used to trade this a lot. So it just basically highlights like price action like this, and then you can kind of see it, right? Obviously this is in the 4-hour time frame. Maybe if I go to the 1-hour time frame, it looks very much nicer, guys. I'm gonna just show you now, right? Look at the beauty of it. It highlights how price does move. So now you can be like, okay, cool, I think price is gonna move up like this, and then I reckon price is gonna keep on moving down. Then you can highlight it like that, so it's easier for you to forecast, like, okay, cool, I see. And then you can visualize these types of things, right? So that's the thing that I really like as well. Now coming to my risk reward ratio tool, right? It's this one, right? I keep it green and yellow. So like, actually the main reason I make it green and yellow is very funny, because the green is more so a situation where I'll just show you my settings as well, right? I go over here, my stop color is green and my yellow, my take profit color is red. It's yellow. Listen to what I'm saying, right? And the main reason why I did that is because psychologically, right, back then when I used to trade, and still now, I would say back then, not too long ago, because I just changed these colors not so long ago, but I use the green especially for my stop loss, because psychologically when I had a red one, it always used to make me feel some type of way, especially when price was in drawdown, right? So now my psychologically, when my price is in like my stop loss and it's green, my brain goes like, oh, okay, it's cool. Like, for example, when this happens, like, yes, price does hit your stop loss and it doesn't really change. The pain is pain for stop loss to get hit, but for me the green really helps a lot. And it's the same. And then also, like, I know a lot of people be confused on how my risk to reward ratio does look like this, right? I'll show you as well. So with me, it's always compact, right? You could switch that off and it could be like this. All this clutter, I don't like that, right? For me, I just put it on like a compact. Let me see how it always shows stats now, but that's more than it. Like, compact status mode, it just makes everything cleaner. It makes everything more simple for the guys who want to know, right? So for me, I've highlighted all the things. Like, for me, I use the paintbrush, right, to kind of draw out something similar to this, but I like to draw out a lot of the things that I like to do. And then I use this tool to kind of pinpoint. Let's say maybe I'm drawing something, I want to make sure that it's equal to the high, right? I'll use that and make sure that it's equal. You get what I mean? Then I use this marker, right, to highlight the highs and the lows for me, right? Simple things like this, like swing structure, that's what I use it for. Horizontal rays, I use it just to highlight like the ranges, things like that, where prices is playing around. And then the arrows just to kind of explain more than anything. This is just to show the break of structure. Let me show you another beautiful thing about this thing, like makes things so simple, right? So for me, you can make a template for these types of things, guys. So for example, let's say you draw out this thing, right? Let's make a break of structure. For example, you come in over here, you say you want a line, you want it to be white, right? And then you go to text and then you write break of structure, right? And then you come in over here and then you save as template as BOS, let's say BOS2, right? And you save this as a template, right? So now you can delete this thing, and then every single time you take this trend line and you draw it over here, it's gonna show this little tool over here, right? You click this thing and you highlight this thing, and then it's just gonna show that break of structure. Can you see? So now even if you draw the trend line and it looks like this, you can come in over here and be like, oh, okay, break of structure 2, then boom, clean cut finish. It just highlights it like that and makes things so much more easier, right? Now that's for the trend line. It makes things so much easier. And then the rectangle is just to highlight maybe an order block that I am interested in, or very like a POI, depending on the situation, right? Then this is obviously the risk to reward ratio tool. This is the print price. This is the Gantt box. This is to show premium and discount, right? And then the one and the only, the one that you guys have been wanting the most is my Fibonacci retracement, right? I won't lie, this has been changing a lot, right? It has been changing a lot, right? But now I keep it very simple now. It's a 0 and a 1, and then a negative 0.8 is 0.08, right? And a 73, right? So for me, the main reason why I have this one over here, as you see it's flicking, I have it mainly because it just makes things a bit simpler for me in terms of like risk to reward ratio, right? Because I've noticed when I be trading funded accounts, let's say maybe my entry is like relatively over there, my stop loss is relatively over here, right? I have noticed that when I have this green thing over here, my risk to reward ratio is more so fixed, right? Let me just show you. I just want to make sure that everything is in order. Like, let's say we put it exactly there, right? And exactly here. It's supposed to be 1:3, but maybe I'm not highlighting something really according to, maybe it's this one. Yeah, like if it's as perfection as this, it marks out a clean 1:3 risk to reward ratio, right? And I usually use this as a take profit 1 and a take profit 2, right? When I take trades, I risk 2%, so this is usually 6%. Let's say maybe I do take trades and it's a 6%, and actually show you one trade that I did, was looking on taking or took with the team, right, on German 30 on the 4-hour time frame. We actually blessed to see this happening over here. We did spot a break of structure. I'm on a purge of liquidity over here. Look at the beauty of it, you know, trend line, purge of liquidity makes things easy. Like, you don't have to stress too much. We saw a break of structure over here, boom, break of structure, boom. Can you see what I'm doing, right? And then I come with my Fibonacci, right? And then I can even use my magnet tool. The magnet tool just pushes price all the way to the most prevalent low, right? That is the most prevalent low, like that. And then we execute it relatively over here. Let me just remove this magnet thing now because it is a bit too hectic. Yes, we execute it here, boom, over here, stop loss all the way to the top over there. Let me see if I can move coordinates. Just rise all the way there. Yes, so that was the entry, that was the stop loss, and then take profit was there, right? As you can see, this is a clean 1:3. Maybe there's a lot of fixing that I need to do, like there, right? And then take profit is there, but as you can see, you get the idea, right? Then it makes things easier. Can you see in conjunction everything that I've been using? And then I would highlight this zone as well as a POI if maybe I don't want to keep the fib and I just want to keep my charts clean, right? So I'll just highlight it that, and then I'll remove that. Then I know, okay, cool, this is where I'm executing. Price comes in, boom, take profit is hit, clean, can't finish. You get what I mean? Like, it makes things so much easier. And then I have a call out thingy. Just this is for more so like for me explaining for the team if I don't want to get confused. Let's say maybe I have an analysis for the guys, I just use that. And then this one, I used to use it before just to highlight the strong low and the strong high, right? But I don't use that anymore because I can like really identify when I use the ranges as well. So this guy can go, right, just so I don't really clutter my charts anymore. This guy can go easy. This is the curve. And then I also have this tool over here. It measures the amount of pips that you take, right? So in this situation, this was close to 55. I'm not sure because it may be 500 actually, based on the this is an indices, not a currency pair. So that's like close to 500 pips moved on what is this on the German 30, you get what I mean? So like I just use this to calculate pips, because sometimes the accounts I do trade are a bit heavy. Also prop firm accounts, you have to be really scaling and really calculating these types of stuff, right? But yeah, those are the things I use for my trading chart, right? I hope everybody did understand my Fibonacci. So I would really love to see how your charts do look, guys. This is more so for the beginners, guys. Like I know a lot of the beginner guys don't have much of this and they really are interested in learning how to change up their charts, right? But for me, this is the color I really like. This is the color I went for, and it really stuck with me, yellow and white. I never thought I'd move to this, but nonetheless, these are all my chart settings, guys. I hope everybody is cool. Oh yes, one more thing. What I do have is I just use one indicator, right? You go over here, this is the indicator tab, you click over here, right? And then the one that I use is swing points and fair value gap, right? I'm gonna show you if it's, yeah, it's by vulnerable, I don't know, vulnerable H. It doesn't show over here, but this is the one I use a lot, right? I'll just delete the one that I just clicked, but this is the one I use. This one just shows me like the little swing points that I have. I'll even show you the settings that I use. I use auto, right? And I highlight intermediate swing highs, number one, and then I used auto because when you put tiny, it just makes these balls too big. I don't like that, right? Pause. But I like to put it on auto. It just highlights the points. Easy, clean cut finish, guys. And then it also shows me like the fair value gaps and the imbalances. Like a lot of my trades, I like to take them where there is like imbalance. Hence why there's a lot of entries that I do have. Even here, you can really see. Let's see if the Fibonacci does highlight this point over here. Right, that was a close entry. We didn't quite catch it, but you get what I mean. Like, it's the different types of things that I use that make my trading simple. But as my trading journey goes on, I just like to keep things more simple and more simple and more simple, guys. But nonetheless, I really appreciate you watching till the end. If you did enjoy this video, comment down what you would want to see from me more. If it is a Q&A situation, I'll do want to do Q&As with you guys. If it's more live sessions, I will do that. But nonetheless, guys, thank you for watching till the end. Yet another video, yet another